This is probably my favorite episode from Decode Your 20 series because I'm talking about something that I'm really interested in, and that is beating the animal in within you. Hello and welcome back. This is Andre, and this episode is special because I am going to give some actual insights which I believe them to be true rather than hypothesizing about things. And I want to talk about success and why I believe that success actually comes from basic human traits such as patience, accountability, self-esteem, or moderation. I believe that this type of core values are the ones which actually bring success, and I want to explain why do I think that. But let me start with the quick answer to this question, and that is because these good traits follow the laws of nature that I will discuss in this video. Now, if you look at the values which I just told you, such as kindness, patience, accountability, self-esteem, if you look at them from some distance, you will notice that these are, character building values. These are things which are deep, and I mean deep inside you. It's your character. In between them, it's nothing superficial, such as how nice you talk about, how good you look in the world, how you wear. I don't believe that this is what brings success, but I believe that the things which are tried and true for generations, thousands of years, the things which worked in building empires, societies, successful peoples across history, that's what we should focus on. But the issue with this, character building traits such as patience is that they are not fast. You can't get them quick. You can't buy your self-esteem, but it takes tons of time to build it. That's the issue. But this issue has nothing to do with the real truth, value, which I actually believe in. Now, let's take those values and try to dissect them and see why would non-sexy values such as patience or accountability be what brings actual success to the effective people. And let's put two hypotheses in the front and let's try to back up those two things. So my belief is that these traits, which I told like justice, kindness, accountability, these have two things which are important. First one is that they build trust, and then the second one is that they encourage long-term thinking. Now, let's take each of these things, trust and long-term thinking, and see why would those two things bring you success. And I'm going to rely on the history and on what's happening currently in society. So let's take the first one, which is trust. If you think about trust, you need to realize that our whole society is based, its foundation is on trust. And the clearest example of that is money. Money is nothing more than people's trust in a piece of paper, or more recently into a digit, into your own account. It's the trust that other people will want it tomorrow. So if you have this piece of paper, you can buy something with it. It's also the trust that the government will not just change the currency tomorrow, so your money will still be valuable. But this idea of trust becomes even more apparent when we think about credit, right? When you want to take a credit from a bank, the bank trusts you that you will bring back the money. But even if you don't, the bank trusts that the government, through its justice system, will punish you and bring it back into the system. So the banks believe that the government will do something to you to put you into the prison. So it's a circle of trust which makes the entire society and economy move forward. So trust is a pillar of long-term success. But then The other pillar of success, I think it's long-term thinking. And why would I think about it? Now, if you look at all the great empires, societies, great projects and buildings, things that stood the test of time, these two things were taught and made possible by visionaries, by people who thought into the future, by people who, pay attention to this, did not sacrifice the future for a short-term reward. Now think about that. So does this mean that we need long-term thinking for success? I mean, surely it does. And there are many ways of saying long-term thinking. Have you heard of compounding effect? It's the same thing. Like the longer you think it's going to compound, and it's going to become bigger and bigger. So trust and long-term thinking. Now, having those two values into mind, the next question is, why would patience, accountability, self-esteem, kindness would be the traits and the values that would encourage these two things, trust and long-term thinking? And the reason is simple. By building those values within you, they are suppressing the animal which is inside you. And what is this animal which is inside me, inside you, inside everybody else? It's the part of you which is irrational when you know that you want it to be rational. So what I mean by that? It's the you who doesn't do the things that it should do. It's the you which eats too much when it shouldn't. It's the you which eats too much sugar. It's the you which reacts to fear. It's the you which reacts to greed. It's the you who doesn't go to the gym. It's the animal within you who doesn't listen to your rational self. And what are the characteristics of this animal? And I will tell you some of these characteristics, and I want you to think about relating these characteristics to non-trust and non-long-term thinking, because we talked that these are the pillars of success. And let's start with some characteristics, and you will notice that they destroy trust and they destroy long-term thinking. So think about fear. Fear makes you not take the decision which you want to make because you fear of something. So you sacrifice, the long-term upside because you fear. So you want the short-term behavior. Now think about laziness. It's again sacrificing the future. Now think about conflict. If you are a person who likes conflict, you sacrifice trust because other people will not trust you. How about the greed when you want too much? Now that clearly, makes people not trust you because you might make a bad decision when you are, greedy, but it also sacrifices the future. How about insecurity? The one which, doesn't let you make leaps and, think long term because you need to think for now. All those traits are not good. And now we get to something interesting. So I talked about fear, greed, insecurity, conflict, which are the animal within you. And now if you take all those values and you flip them, so you literally take the reverse of them, it's what's going to bring you to the, successful traits, characteristics, which I actually believe them. So if you take fear, put the opposite, it's courage. Courage will let you, play for the long term. You take greed, you will become more modest. You will want, less things. So it will not make you impatient to the things which you want now. So you will be able to play for the long term. Now, patience, it's another one. It will allow you to go for the long term. Now, how about kindness? How about justice? These are the things which will build trust into you, so other people will trust you. So it will allow you to, have a longer and longer game. Patience, it's against the quick money which the animal within you want, which make you take short-term decisions. But if you are patient, you can play for the long game. How about when you victimize yourself? The reverse of that is accountability. So if you are accountable to yourself, then other people will trust you. So you see how we got from, the two pillars, trust and long-term thinking, and we compare that with the animal within us, and we see that if we literally reverse everything which this animal has, we got to the good traits, the things which optimize for the long term. Now, the natural question which comes is, if it's so obvious that you should be kind, patient, accountable, why don't people do it? The answer is very basic. It's not quick. It's not fast. It's simple. I can explain you what you need to do, but it's not easy. It's not fast, quick. This problem of now, of quick, fast, tomorrow, that's the problem. Because let me tell you something where I have an explanation. And the thing is that you cannot skip stages. You can't become, patient tomorrow. The question is why? And this is where I heard a beautiful explanation. And that is that humans are a natural process. We are natural, human beings. We are part of nature. And in natural processes, you cannot skip stages. In natural processes, you can't skip stages. Now, the question is why? Because if you could skip stages, it would be the same as saying that you want a high crop yield in the autumn, but you don't want to give any fertilizer in the summer, or you want to give half of the fertilizer, or you want quick, you want to plant it now, get it tomorrow. It's not gonna happen. Surely the fertilizers can speed up a bit the process and grow the yield, but the point is you cannot skip stages. And clearly you can't skip stages in building your self-esteem. It's a long process, and it takes many steps, and it's slow. But can't you break this system of getting tomorrow accountable? And the answer is no. We just talked about it, but there are some places where you can fake the system, where you can break the laws, and that is in artificial systems, not in natural ones like human beings, but in artificial systems. School is an artificial social system, because in school the rules are already made, so you can learn the day before the exam. For the exams, you will pass it. Surely you will not have the knowledge for the long term, which breaks what we said in the beginning, but you can fake the system. Or for example, if you are an asshole, but you are nice at our first interactions, you might get along with that, but you are not gonna build a long-term relationship, because I'm gonna find out that you are an asshole with time. So you cannot skip stages. That's the thing which, it's, let's say, the drawback of taking this approach to success, like patience, accountability, kindness, deep core traits into you, which will manifest into the future. But I want to go towards finishing this video, and that is, don't you think that what worked, thousands of years before and brought success to civilizations and empires and thousands of individuals, is gonna work for us as well? Because nowadays, what is, the most visible in society is get quickly good, get success quick, money quick, win the lottery quick. When you hear this word quick and fast, there is something which is not good there, because good things are built slowly and in perpetuity. And the other thing is, what I'm telling now about those values, they are, the foundation of every religion, every philosophical, ideology which stood the test of time. There are, core, basic, human truths which we lived for thousands of years. So if they work for that many years, why would we change them now? Because, humans, my father told me that humans don't change. And I started to, see more and more, and man, our basic, deep things are the same every generation. You still have fears, insecurities, greed, those things which are the animal within us, they just follow with every generation. Now, I want to finish this video by reiterating the key ideas of how, to become an effective person and bring, success into your life. And that is, First, there is no quick fix. There is this thing. There is long-term thinking deployed every day through good behavior, through good traits. So, there is long-term thinking deployed every day through good, actions and good behavior. It's not quick, it's slow, but it definitely works. And we need to, optimize to build our character with characteristics and traits which optimize for trust, the trust of others, and long-term thinking. And that was pretty much everything I wanted to say. Now, those ideas were, moving into my mind for the past years, but now I actually got to, put them through an explanation, because now it sounds good even to me. Now I didn't understand until now, like, why would accountability be something good? I mean, it sounds good because you saw it's good, but why? And now we have a reason, because it just, builds trust, and it's a long-term thinking game. And, success comes in the long term. There is no quick fix. This is pretty much everything that I had to say. And I have to acknowledge that I really like the explanation that, humans are natural things. And in nature, you just can't skip stages. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, watch in Australia with the fire right now. Even how big is the human civilization, you just can't skip the fire. It has to follow its road. Maybe it's gonna come some rain, maybe not, but it's just following its course. That's pretty much everything. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you subscribed. Hit the like button, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.